Hey guys, it's Simmy, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as we are here on the 19th of April 2021 to talk about everything that went down tonight on Monday Night Raw. And boy, was tonight's Raw hard to get through. Like, the final hour started, and I'm like, holy crap, this show has still got another hour. What kind of hell are we living in? Because this show felt very long. And not very long in a good way either. Like, this show was boring. Sorry, I'm changing some stuff around on my other screen. This show was not that good. Thank you, Fonzie, for letting me know. I was recording something different, non-wrestling related, and I turned the ticker off. Thank you for reminding me, though. Let's pop that bad boy back on right there. Anyways, so regarding tonight's Monday Night Raw, this show was long, boring. I mean, the first match of the night was a rematch from last week. A freaking rematch from last week's show was the first match tonight. And I'm just like, what the hell? What kind of crap is this? We're getting a damn rematch, the first match of the night. But we'll get into it. We'll talk about it. It was Monday Night Raw. We'll see what you guys think. Polls are live in the chat, both on Twitch and YouTube. New Jeffrey, yes, everything was good. My daughter was going to spend the night at my parents' house. She then had an accident, fell off her electric scooter, broke her glasses, and now she got a black eye. So instead of her spending the night, I had to go pick her up because she was in no mood to want to stay. So everything's good. Everyone's fine. Just got to order her some new glasses, which we did today. But with that, I want to say thank you guys for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, if you are watching on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways, either by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Plus, you can subscribe to the channel right here on Twitch, either with Amazon Pro. Sorry about that. I looked at something that said Amazon on my screen, and it fucked me up, even though I know the rigmarole. You can subscribe with a tiered subscription or for free with Amazon Prime, because if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. With Prime Gaming, you get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you subscribe to us right here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited. On the flip side, if you're watching over on YouTube, you can help us out in the live chat with either a super chat or a super sticker donation. All super chats do get read live on the air. Also, if you want to help us out, you can subscribe to the channel, not just by normally subscribing, but subscribe as a channel member. And you get some cool perks like early access to news, podcast, and non-news videos. And you get a badge next to your name and emojis in the live chat. And speaking of early access, today, Nick and I recorded and put up for Patreon, patreon.com/PW Unlimited, subscribers over there, and for YouTube channel members, the new edition of the PW Unlimited podcast. Myself, Nick, we talked about the Japanese dead man and how he became a dead man. Talked about some of our favorite wrestlers and how we found wrestling and certain companies. And Nick talked about how he fell out of wrestling and then got back into wrestling and a couple other things. So go check out that podcast right now. PW Unlimited podcast episode. We're refreshing it. So it's now episode number 2. Even though we've done like 100 of them in the past, we're refreshing. It's episode number 2. It's a new season. You can get it right now. Twitch.tv. No. Patreon.com/PW Unlimited. But with that, we've got Raw to talk about. And this show, like I said, not that good of a show. As it started off, Celtic War, with the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. McIntyre came out and talked about earning his opportunity last week, defeating 2 men to get a shot at the WWE Championship. He said that he told Bobby Lashley he'd be getting back at him and getting the rematch for the title, and that's what he did. He also spoke about the opportunity that T-Bar and Mace took last week trying to make a name for them at his expense. He knew that the mastermind behind all of this was MVP. Also, I want to apologize if you hear any yelling or music in the background. My neighbors downstairs, they're throwing a damn party. I asked them twice to turn the music down, and they basically ignored me. So, yeah. My floors are literally vibrating right now. My desk is vibrating right now-ish because their music is so loud. Like, I can feel it in my floor. Regardless, T-Bar and Mace. Drew thinks they're working for MVP. MVP would eventually erupt and say, hey, I didn't recruit those two guys. They just tried to seize the opportunity. McIntyre didn't believe him. McIntyre reminded MVP that Lashley tried sending the entire locker room after him before WrestleMania. And well, these two probably taking up that, what's the word I'm looking for? Probably taking up that opportunity, trying to take that opportunity on themselves. McIntyre left the ring to confront MVP. We then hear a commotion, and there, T-Bar and Mace yet again, right on time. They gave him the double choke slam, and Corey Graves called them the Twin Towers. Yes, he said these two men, Mace and T-Bar, are the Twin Towers. In the back, they're interviewed by Kevin Patrick, and this was very weird. I don't know what was going on. Mace said something about saber-toothed tigers. T-Bar said a sentence that I couldn't even really understand. It was all very convoluted and didn't make sense. But in the end, I think it was supposed to say they're supposed to be talking about a bunch of animals that are extinct because they're going to make McIntyre extinct. So after the break, McIntyre's walking around back and he's looking for Adam Pearce. He goes, Pearce, you already know what I'm going to say. Make it happen. And Pearce goes, I can't. I can't give you a handicap match. You're going to need to find a tag team partner. McIntyre's like, I don't want a tag team partner. I don't need anybody. You make this match, but you're not going to like what's going to happen. Then we got our first match of the night, and it's the exact same fucking match we got last week. Like, half the shit that happened in the match was the same stuff that we saw in the match last week. Benjamin and Alexander had control early. And on commentary, for some reason, they kept going, Shelton Benjamin and Alexander, or as some like to call him, Prime Alexander. Who the fuck has ever said Prime Alexander when talking about Cedric? I've never heard that. If I've missed something, I have never heard anyone call him Prime Alexander. Is that like a pre-WWE name or something? Like, geez. Match goes about 5 minutes. Not much happens. Alexander takes the Viking experience, even though Vernk calls it the Viking Express. And the Viking Raiders defeat Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin for the second week in a row. In the back, Randy Orton being interviewed, and he told Kevin Patrick that nobody could have done what he did to The Fiend at WrestleMania. He did admit the McIntyre won last week. He didn't get a shot at the championship, but he'll be waiting for the winner after Backlash. All of a sudden we hear, in comes Riddle. Riddle does some circles, starts talking to Orton, saying like, I lost my title, you lost your title shot. Why don't we team up together and become a tag team? We can call ourselves RK Bro. Riddle began to speak, and Orton just walked away. So after a break, Randy Orton approaches Adam Pearce. He's like, hey, who's that guy with the long hair and he's annoying and he's got a scooter or whatever? His name's, and right as Pearce is about to say, Riddle goes, it doesn't even matter what his name is. I want to match with him. He disrespected me. I'm not about this disrespect stuff. And so the match got made, which is weird because we were supposed to get Braun Strowman versus Randy Orton tonight. It was been advertised since Friday, and then the match got removed today. I was told that there are a few people in the company that will not be at Raw tonight. I was told they said about, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours before the show started. I was told a few COVID tests came back inconclusive. 2 people will be missing the show tonight. And when this happened, I go, uh-oh, could one of those be Braun? But as we learned later, no, it was not Braun. And I'm not going to go and speculate who may or may not have COVID, because that's just a horrible thing to do. But I was told, wasn't given a specific number, wasn't given names, just told straight. Like I'll read the message right here. It says, heads up, some may miss Raw tonight. A couple of COVID tests came back inconclusive. So I don't know who, wasn't given specific names. That happens sometimes. You get information and they're very vague with it, the people that give you the info, but it's info nonetheless. Charlotte's music hits and I go, wait, ain't this supposed to be the main event? And then she comes out wearing a 1980s, very disco ball looking little suit with shorty shorts. I'm like, oh, she's cutting a promo. And this started out all right. But the farther Charlotte got in the promo, the more robotic she got. And then it just started getting bad the longer it went. Charlotte came out and says she didn't plan on hurting anybody's feelings last week. She was just telling the truth. She claimed that all the women in the back hate each other. They're catty. They hate each other as much as they all hate her. But they pretend to be friends. She said that none of them had any reason to complain, because unlike her, they didn't have a scheduled Mania match taken away from them. But was it really a scheduled Mania match taken away from... Well, actually, in storyline, no. In real life, yes. So, as the story goes, Charlotte comes out on Raw, challenges Asuka for a shot at the Women's Championship, and the storyline's supposed to be that she's going to prove that she deserves it, because there was that promo with Dana Brooke where she's like, hey, I'll take you on. I'm going to fight you. You go through me. I'm the one that people need to go through to get to the champ, or I'll just earn my way to the champ. She did that promo, whatever. So everything was going to lead to Charlotte Asuka, and then they thought Charlotte was pregnant. She got COVID, and they told her, you're not working Mania. Boop, slide in Rhea Ripley. So in storyline, we're supposed to think, well, the match was never made official. Charlotte didn't have a match that was taken from her. But in actuality, she did. So they're really blending the lines here, actually, with what's real and what's storyline, what was actually supposed to happen for real, and what was and what wasn't actually announced in storyline. So they're blending the realities here with this now Charlotte Flair story. She said that she could be both Rhea and Asuka on the same night. She didn't mean to disrespect Asuka, but, well, Asuka, because Asuka is one of the best, but just because I respect Asuka doesn't mean I have to like Asuka. She said she would show Asuka why she is the queen tonight, and then out would come Asuka. And fucking Verton goes, Asuka's coming out here. Are we about to get this match now? Are these ladies about to fight? Asuka looks ready to go. The Empress of Tomorrow wants to fight. I'm like, guy, shut the fuck up. Like, this guy's trying too hard. So Asuka comes out. Before she could say anything, out would come, well, Rhea Ripley. She didn't mean to disrespect Asuka. Oh, no, I read the wrong line there. Ripley interrupted, and Charlotte said, come down to the ring. Be here for our match later on tonight. Watch what I do to Asuka, because it is what I will do to you. Ripley said, I may take you up on that offer. But, well, Asuka's going to win tonight. Asuka would try to speak, and Charlotte goes, shut up. Asuka would try to speak. She's like, Charlotte! And Asuka, and literally, Charlotte would go, I told you to shut up. I don't understand what you're saying. And I will go, wow, I can't understand what you're saying, or something along those lines. Like, she's like, she either said, I can't understand you, or I can't understand what you're saying. Something like that. And I was just dumbfounded that they put that in there. And then Asuka told Charlotte, I will beat you, bitch. They're throwing around that word a lot with the women right now. Charlotte said it last week. They played the promo where she said it this week. Asuka said it. I mean, we'll talk about it here in a moment. They let Alexa say ass and bitch 4 words apart or 3 words apart. Anyways, this was bad. Real bad. The farther into Charlotte's promo it got, the worse it got. Then Asuka comes out. She's trying to talk, gets interrupted. She tries to talk again. Charlotte tells her, shut up. Charlotte then tells her, I can't understand you. Asuka then calls her a bitch. Like, this was just, oh my God, bad. Oh my God. Awful. We see Orton in the back. They say he's going to take on Matt Riddle, and then Matt Riddle right past him. We had a replay of T-Bar and Mace attacking McIntyre for about the 4th time so far tonight. Getting old. They then said that Adam Pearce has officially made the handicap match. Then, get a pretty good match. 13 and a half minutes. Randy Orton versus Riddle. And I'm thinking, all right, Riddle may get a couple things in. May let Riddle look okay to pretty good against Randy, but he ain't picking up that victory. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, howdy, was I fucking wrong. Not much happens before the first break, other than like Riddle took a back suplex on the announce table. After the break, Orton stomped away at Riddle, particularly targeting his bare feet. That was another thing. When Randy was trying to describe him earlier, he's like, the guy with the long hair and wears the no shoes and stuff. I thought that was funny. But regardless, Riddle fired back until Orton, cut him off with a power slam and a vertical suplex. At one point, they fought on the ropes, which led to Orton hitting a superplex for a 2. Riddle applied a choke in the ropes, but after he let go, Orton hit a draping DDT. Orton went for an RKO, and Riddle literally countered the RKO into a crucifix pin to pick up the victory. Clean win, no interference, no bullshit, just Riddle picking up an actual decisive clean win in the middle on Randy Orton. Very shocked, still shocked, and I saw it happen. Then the cameras stay on very long to keep saying, Riddle just beat Randy Orton. Oh my God, Riddle beat Randy Orton. Look at Riddle celebrating. Riddle is very happy. This may be one of the biggest, if not the biggest win of his career. And I go, I don't know if I can go that far. I mean, he's a former U.S. champion, former NXT Tag Team champions, even though that don't count on the main roster. But regardless, he beat Randy Orton clean. No bullshit. No one came down to distract Randy. Randy just tried to go for his finish. He reversed countered Orton's finish. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. In the back, Pearce congratulated Sheamus on winning the U.S. title. Sheamus asked why he was invited into his office. And Pearce goes, well, we got to bring back the lineage of that U.S. title and really think about the guys that came before you. Like that one that used to have an open challenge every single week for the United States Championship. Yes. Talking about John Cena. I know you're not John Cena, Sheamus, but maybe you could think about doing it just for tonight. An open challenge. Just, Sheamus goes, an open challenge, eh? Huh. It's not for the title. So next up, we did get bullshit. It was Naomi and Lana against... Okay, I don't know why my echo just went off, but it was Naomi and Lana against the Women's Tag Team Champions, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. So Naomi and Lana worked over Jax, using frequent tags in and out early. However, Jax finally took control when she double downed them both with a double suplex before tagging in Shayna. So Baszler stomped Lana's arm when Mandy and Dana would make their way out to interrupt. And what did they do? They literally come out and they go, hey, Nia, we want you to watch this. And it's Nia and Shayna watching Mandy's fall from WrestleMania. Then Mandy and Dana attacking Nia. Then they go, hey, Nia, we've got another thing for you to watch. Watch this. And it's Nia trying to get into the ring last week and slipping. So Nia gets frustrated. She jumps off the apron, leaves Shayna by herself, and goes up the ramp. She leaves. And Shayna, eventually, 2-on-1 is not that well suited for the Queen of Spades, and she gets beat. Naomi and Lana defeat Nia and Shayna because Nia was embarrassed. And so she left. This was just the dirt worst. Dirt worst. Kenny gets pinned by Naomi, and there we go. So, in the next week or two, if not at WrestleMania Backlash, pretty sure Naomi and Lana challenging for the tag titles. So, and this is all right. I don't know why they had to air this on television, but they aired a post-WrestleMania interview with Damian Priest and Bad Bunny. The whole thing was spoken in Spanish. They had subtitles. Priest talked about how hard Bad Bunny worked, and he said he deserved his moment that he got at WrestleMania. Bad Bunny said that it was incredible to be able to work with everybody that he worked with. He said that he wanted to thank the Latin community, and especially thank Damian Priest. This was nice. Good promo here. I'm very happy that they had the subtitles because I can't speak Spanish to save my life other than, nope, that's not even Spanish. I was about to say aloha. Anyways, that was nice. But then that led to Miz TV. John Morrison, not here. Maurice co-hosted with The Miz. They claimed that they made Bad Bunny a household name. And Miz goes, welcome for the sold-out tour. Maurice called him the greatest superstar of his generation, Miz that is. They gushed over each other. They kissed. They set off fireworks when they kissed. And then they poured some champagne and toasted that their show Miz and Mrs. was a success last week with the season premiere. Then out would come Damian Priest. Priest would make his way out to the ring and said the Miz was delusional. Just as delusional as Jake Paul thinking he's a real fighter. Priest said the Miz was boasting about his win last week. But did he forget how that win happened? So 2 segments in a row now about being embarrassed last week. Priest showed the footage of Miz getting stripped and then Miz hiding behind his wife after, yes, picking up a victory. Priest said that Miz lost his pants and the whole world saw he had no cojones. Miz is like, I don't know what you're saying. Maurice said something in French. And then she's like, you want to face the Miz? You want a rematch? You've got it. Priest goes, that's the only reason I came out here. Priest then grabbed the champagne, drank it, and goes, ooh, that shit's bad. And so Maurice threw it in his face. They left. He had a New Day with Riddle in the back. Kingston congratulated him on beating Randy Orton. He said, I hate him. Just spoke a bit. And then they started talking about different things until Riddle said, silver dollars. And then all 3 of them yelled, silver dollar pancakes. Riddle then goes, hey, Kofi, don't you got a match you got to get ready for? I'll see you guys later. And he left. We did have a match. It was Elias with Jackson Ryker against Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. When Elias tried to play his guitar, we would hear a bass. And that was Xavier Woods playing the bass. He's playing an electric bass now instead of a trombone. If you've been following Xavier Woods, a.k.a. Austin Creed, on Twitter, you've been seeing his videos of him learning how to play bass. And he's picking it up rather quickly for only starting a couple months ago. So, kudos. The match goes on, a 5-minute match, if that. And throughout the match, Woods just starts playing Stone Cold's theme song. And of course, Corey Graves got to go, can't be that hard. He's just strumming the same string the whole time. And I think Vern goes, that song, it sounds very familiar. It's very Stone Cold or something like that. I'm like, wow, this fucker. So about halfway through the match, Kofi Kingston hits a flying crossbody and gets a 2. Then he hits an SOS for another 2. Kingston tries a hurricane run off the top, but Elias blocked it and hit a flying elbow drop and picks up a surprise pinfall victory. Yes, Elias pinned Kofi Kingston. So then we get Alexa's Playground. Alexa Bliss told us all about her doll, Lily. She claimed that Lily isn't new. Lily has been around her entire life. We saw photos of Alexa as a kid and the Lily doll photoshopped in. She then told a story about how Lily was around when she was a kid in school. And one time, she pushed a girl off of the swing. She said, I pushed her right on her ass because that bitch deserved it. When the teachers asked me why I did it, I told them, Lily told me to. She warned us. She does whatever Lily wants. And Lily didn't like him. And Lily doesn't like any of you. Basically, she's warning the women's locker room now at this point. Like, all the women in the locker room need to be worried because Lily doesn't like you either. Any of you. And then we get the CG version of Lily giggling and snarling. I have no earthly idea where this is leading to. One would assume maybe eventually Alexa and Rhea Ripley. But who knows? I knew that was going to happen. Anyways, Josh Schreiber asked Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke if they thought their behavior tonight was appropriate. Wow. Rose sounded like a child, justifying her actions by basically saying that Jax started it. She was making fun of me, so I'm going to make fun of her. And if you haven't noticed already, it seems like they don't know who's who. Both Mandy and Dana are very interchangeable, apparently. Jax approached them, and they ran away scared. It's Nia. Baszler then comes up, and she's like, Nia, what the hell is all of that? You need to stay focused. You need to be more on your game, or else. And Nia goes, or else what? And then fucking Angel Garza walks up and just goes, you could do better than Reginald. I'm just saying. I'm like, so Angel Garza and Reginald not going to fight over Nia or something? What the hell is this bullshit? And this is when I go, fucking show still got an hour. We still haven't seen the handicap match or Charlotte versus Asuka. Oy vey, what the fuck? We get a 5.5, 6 minute match. 2-on-1 handicap match. Drew against T-Bar and Mace. The match goes and goes and goes. And then finally T-Bar and Mace double team on Drew. The referee's counting. He says, when you got to get out of here by 5? And they don't. And he calls for the DQ. And then who, of all people, would come out to make the save for Drew McIntyre? Braun fucking Strowman, of all people. What? This makes no sense. He was just shitting on Braun at the beginning of the show. When he was like, when I came out last week and said I wanted another shot at Bobby Lashley for the title, Braun Strowman would come out and say, me want title shot too. He literally did that at the beginning of the show, making fun of Braun. And Braun comes to save him. So we get T-Bar and Mace against Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman. I guess you could say that's better than Randy Orton versus Braun, and we did end up getting Randy Orton versus Riddle, which was actually really good, and Riddle picked up a big victory. But it's just like, if nothing was confirmed, why announce it Friday? I don't get it at all. But Strowman was fully in control early until on both guys, until T-Bar took him down with a chop block. Strowman came back body drop before tagging in McIntyre, who hit Mace with the overhead suplex and a neck breaker. McIntyre would then rip off the mask of Mace. And he said, I'm just doing you a favor. You don't need to wear this. He's like, doing me a favor? You think this is doing me a favor? And he slaps McIntyre right across the face. McIntyre then slapped him with the mask and attacked repeatedly until the ref called for the DQ. Strowman then came in, took down T-Bar, and ripped his mask off as well, and the two just leave. This went 6.5 minutes and ended in a DQ when two guys got their masks ripped off. And commentary goes, oh my God, this is the first time we've ever actually got to see their faces. What is this? Who are they? Are they? You at least need to know fucking Dio. Okay, if we're not supposed to know who anybody is from NXT, you at least need to know who fucking Dio Madden is. He spent time on fucking Raw commentary. They played this up like nobody knew who Dio Madden and Dominic Dijakovic are. You at least need to know who Dio is. He was on commentary for Monday Night Raw with freaking Vic Joseph and Jerry Lawler. Like, what kind of what? Huh? We then get Damian Priest versus The Miz. Match went about 5 minutes, and Damian Priest won. Not much to talk about. Miz hit his submit kicks. Maurice tried to get involved. Corey Graves congratulated Damian Priest on doing his homework. Cool. Damian Priest wins in a match that really nothing happened. I think at one point, Maurice jumped up on the apron, and Priest said, and I quote, "We're not doing this again, are we?" We then got a Sheamus segment where we didn't even get the open challenge match, per se. Sheamus was in the ring, still wearing his street clothes. He boasted about being the U.S. champion and claimed he's a fighting champion, sarcastically. Out would then come none other than Humberto Carrillo, presumably to answer the open challenge, but we never got it. Sheamus attacks, and before the bell can ring, he throws him out of the ring. Sheamus repeatedly drove him into the barricade and clubbered away at him. Sheamus then posted him before giving him a bro kick in the ring, and Sheamus posed with the belt. What was this? Just to say, he's the U.S. champ. He could beat people up. Okay. This is okay. Sheamus got to look strong and good. But to call this an open challenge, next time someone does an open challenge, who's going to take it seriously? Who's going to think, man, we're really going to get a surprise here. We're really going to get something cool with this open challenge. No, not at all. So we go on to our main event that goes about 9.5 minutes. Both women come down before, Rhea Ripley also came down. She was the last one to come. She paced ringside throughout the entire match. The match started with just a little under, or just right around 10 minutes left in the show. Fight spilled to the outside about a minute in. They were, fighting right in front of Rhea Ripley. This led to a break, and when they returned, there was about 6-7 minutes left. Asuka hit a German suplex and a sliding kick for a 2. Charlotte hit a facebuster, but was followed by but Asuka followed it up with a code breaker, which didn't actually look that good. Charlotte came right back with a spear for a near fall. Charlotte targeted Asuka's legs and applied a figure 8, but Ripley literally, so context here if you didn't catch it. She's bent back in the figure 8, so her hands are on the mat, right? Are on the mat, and Rhea grabs the hands and pulls them, so then Charlotte just falls flat on her back. Ref doesn't see it. Charlotte lets go of the move on Asuka. Then she grabs Rhea Ripley at ringside. And they're kind of like going at it. They're going at it. But Rhea never punches Charlotte in front of the ref, so the ref doesn't call the DQ. And then eventually Asuka kicks Charlotte. Crucifix pin. 1, 2, 3. Asuka defeated Charlotte. So for all this to possibly have supposed to be building up either Asuka versus Ripley or Charlotte versus Ripley or Asuka, Ripley, and Charlotte in a triple threat, how does this do anyone any good? At all. Because Charlotte didn't even win. So why would anybody care if Charlotte gets added to the match? Oh, wait, because it's Charlotte, and they've already made a precedent so that she doesn't have to win stuff to just be added to matches. WrestleMania 35. But regardless, Charlotte then attacks the referee after the match. Like he did something wrong. He counted 3. She beat the fucking shit out of this guy. More referees come down, and the announcers start going, commentary. They're like, oh my God, Charlotte Flair, there's going to be repercussions here. She's probably going to get fined, if not worse. Blah, 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 blah. They're just going on. She goes to leave, and then she gets back in the ring. And she attacks the ref again. Kicks him right in the gut. Also, didn't even talk about how there was a spot in the match where this wasn't with Rhea, where Asuka and Charlotte are rolling around, and Charlotte's tits just hanging out for at least 90 seconds. She's not even trying to put it back in there. Her whole tit's just out. But anyways, she beats the shit out of the referee. More referees come down, and that was it. As soon as the rest came down, Asuka and Rhea ran out of there, apparently, because the match ends. Charlotte goes straight at the referee, and they're gone. Asuka, Ripley, gone. Charlotte. Okay, so since Saturday, We haven't seen this yet, but I'm going to pull this up on Twitter. WWE has made a ruling on Charlotte Flair. Let's pull this up really fast. Here we go. So this was announced right before we went live. Pull this up here. Breaking per @ScrapDaddy AP on Raw Talk. Charlotte is being suspended indefinitely and fined $100,000 following her actions at the conclusion of WWE Raw. The Charlotte Flair is being suspended indefinitely and fined $100,000 for unprofessional conduct and physically abusing a WWE official. The Charlotte Flair has been suspended by WWE in storyline. But with that, guys, that was Monday Night Raw. Now, I want to hear what you guys have to say about tonight's show. Check the polls. Also, remember, if you want to be part of tonight's show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. Again, the number is 510-906-1341. 57% of you on Twitch said I didn't like Raw, and 43% thought it was just all right. Or as the YouTube poll goes, 37% of you thought the show was all right. This is very, very split right down the triple way middle, whatever you want to call it. 37% of you thought it was all right. 32 did not like it, and 31% did like the show tonight. But with that, like I said, if you want to be part of tonight's show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. This person says, thoughts on T-Bar and Mace being unmasked? Only thought I got is, finally. Hopefully they're still called. Hopefully they finally get the real names back too. Hopefully they're Dio Madden and Dominic Dijakovic and not still T-Bar and Mace. Also, are they still working? The big question still is, are they actually working for MVP or not? It says, Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman showed up and they played no games. Do you think that Braun Strowman is going to turn heel on Drew so it can turn into a triple threat match at Backlash? Because that's why I think he helped. No, there was no reason. If they do that and it becomes a triple threat, then doing the triple threat number one contender match last week made no sense and meant nothing. First says, I wonder where AJ and Omos are. I wonder as well. First says, is it just me? Or every time someone gets called up to the main roster, they lose one of their finishes. Riddle lost the Bro Mission, and Keith Lee lost the Ground Zero, and Bobby Roode lost the Pump Handle Slam. I don't put too much stock into any of that, so This person says, any news on Tom Phillips? Well, I don't watch 205 Live, but WWE said he's the host of 205 Live. I didn't go back and check, so I don't know. Versus first Charlotte misses WrestleMania, then gets suspended indefinitely. I guess anything can happen in WWE, right? Well, she missed Mania because she had COVID and they thought she was pregnant. That was a mix-up. Being suspended, that storyline, I don't know what's going on. I'll ask around. Versus where's John Morrison and Bobby Lashley? No clue. Remember what I said earlier. Person says, what do you think of McAfee on commentary? And is he the heel commentator? I don't think there is a babyface and a heel commentator on SmackDown. I think it's just Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. And they're literally letting Pat McAfee be Pat McAfee. And he was good. I think he was a little too scripted. I think he was reading some scripted lines on Friday, and it came off as such. So if they just got to let him be a little more Pat McAfee, and he'll do really well. I think he's not trying to step on anybody's toes right now and trying to just do as good of a job as he can with what is asked of him. But as time progresses, he'll get better and better. Nurse says this felt like a real Raw after Mania with some of these returns like Garza, Humberto, etc. Really? Humberto's was just to get his ass beat. That didn't feel like anything. Garza, we'll see where it leads to. And this text message says, where was AJ? I don't know. Another one asks about AJ Styles. This person says also, so are we waiting till SummerSlam for call-ups? Maybe. Or we just wait till the draft and someone gets drafted. I don't know. With that, guys, that's going to do it for tonight's Monday Night Raw review. I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember to follow us on social media, Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Follow us on Instagram by searching for Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and follow us on Twitter @PW Unlimited. Also, remember to subscribe over at Patreon.com/PW Unlimited. Excuse me. Also, remember, we will be live tomorrow night following NXT. That's the new Tuesday thing, NXT on Tuesdays. And, yeah, I was going to say something else, but, oh, yes. If you aren't subscribed, Patreon.com/PW Unlimited or a YouTube channel member, the new episode of the PW Unlimited podcast will be available tomorrow. I want to say we're going to put it at about 9 a.m. Pacific, which would be right about noon Eastern. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your Monday night. I'll see you right back here live tomorrow for NXT. Have a good one.